Okay, so I've removed the screws, and we have the cover, which seems a bit worn because of the windy condition. And this is the what the hell is it? I don't know what that is. It's here. And there's another piece of it. What the hell are you? Looks like some sort of oil seal. Oh, bugger. Oh. I don't know what there is. Oh, whatever it is, I'm going to have to replace it. Oh, that's okay. Right, so. Why are you doing this? Right, so this is the shift lever. This is the shift lever secure feature, I guess. Is there something missing from here? Is it meant to look like that? That to me looks like 11/16 or 17mm. Rummage. Yes. Is that 17mm? Is that 19mm? That is 17mm. Huh, that's right. So let's take this off. I don't know what happens when I take this off. I really don't. I've never done a Ranger clutch before. Be careful not to get any oil on the camera or my wife will kill me. Let's see. And what is that meant to do? What are you meant to do once I take you off? Do you turn or what? I really do not know. How do you undo? Interesting. I hope I don't have to put a pair of grips on this because I might damage the thread. I wonder if I have any of the nuts this size so I can double secure it. I do not know. I need to get a pair of grips on this to see what that happens. So, give me a second. Okay, so it appears that I tried my grips on this thing here, and it won't turn. However, this is the pole light. Yeah, that's the way you. I tried my grips on this thing here, but it won't turn. I don't know if it's meant to come out, if it's stuck or what, I don't know. However, I did notice that if you lift this here, like this, you get a clear view of this collar here, which is obviously holding the gear stick in. Because if you can lift it up, and it feels like that is the only thing holding it in. It's covered in oil, of course, because the seal broke. The pieces of which are still there, and it's held in place by 3 very small torque screws, which are finger tight, which cannot be good, I'm sure. Alright, now I've no idea what undoing these screws will do. I do not know if this is the right thing to do. Am I going to drop a million tiny components into the transmission doing this? But oh, it came out. The shift lever came right out. There's the ball. And there's the air inside of the gearbox. Oh, covered in nice gear oil. I don't want oil on the floor. I don't have a torch with me, which I guess I should have. Oil looks nice and clean now. I suspect it's the wrong oil. I read on some of the forums that this type of transmission, which I think is the Toyota transmission, I think you can get a Mazda and a Toyota, and the longer one apparently is the Toyota, and this is what appears to be the longer transmission. This may be the Toyota transmission. So what I'll do now is that is out, surprisingly easily. I will go down underneath. We will start taking pieces off down there. Put that in there for good measure. I don't want any foreign bodies getting in there. Okay, so let's go underneath. I removed the starter motor. I've been doing some other something about to check about what I need to do. What's to come off next for me is the starter motor, and I need to just connect the solenoid wire, which is this one. That's the one that your ignition key activates. Then we need to remove the main wire, which is effectively the one that comes from the battery. First of all, we need to move the cap. Let's look at this. Access to the two wires. This is the top one, main one from the battery, the red from the battery, and this one goes inside the starter motor. Let me just get the right tool. Alright. This should be fairly okay because I've replaced the bushes in this motor twice, so everything should be fairly free and accessible. And careful with the washer. Don't want to lose that. Okay, the cable's free. That. And I'll put the nut in the washer back on so we don't lose that. And then what we need to do is to remove the starter motor mounting bolts, one of which contains the isolate from the battery. Right, to remove these are three here. I'm going to try one of my tools I don't use very often. It's an electric impact wrench. Can you see this? It's a battery powered 24 volt impact wrench. Now in the instances I have had to use it, it's a piece of crap. It has no torque, and the anvil, the bit that was inside, is very light. So it doesn't have an awful lot of impact power. Nowhere near the equivalent of a pneumatic one, which I don't have, which I really should have. And I need to put the extension. Let's see if it will work. Let's give it a go. Little good one. Wait. It's a piece of shit. Pardon my French. Sorry, English even. It has either seriously over tightened now, which I don't think it did last time I was here, because I did by hand. Oh, this machine really is a piece of crap. It's a different size nut. Yeah, it's a bloody 13mm, these are 14mm. Oh dear. Okay, excuse me, I need to get a hand spinner. Okay, you've got the right tools now. I must admit these were very tight. I don't remember putting them that tight last time I prepared the starter motor, but you know, it was. So for a strange reason, these are bottom nuts here are 15mm or 5/8 or whatever. And that single one up there with the S-strap is a 13mm. Without not unexpected with a unexpected record. the only ones that got in the start motor in place. Be careful, I don't want it to fall on my head. Excuse me. Okay, right, swap motor is out. This is pre-engaged. Repair twice, good as new. Alright, so there we go. Now we have more access to what I could really use a torch for. Let me see. A little dirty. So we get access to the bell housing bolts. There's one here. And yeah, I can't seem to find any more because of this bracket here, which might be an engine mount. I'm not sure what there is. There's one here. I don't know what the rest. No, there's two here, one here, one here. To get rid of these, I won't need to remove this because this is actually suspension mounting or a gearbox mounting. I will have to move this, which is the transverse support for the rear of the gearbox. This thing here, with these two bolts here, and these long bolts either side, one on the other side too. But first of all, what we'll need to do is what I want to do next is reverse is to remove the drive shaft. I've already removed two of the nuts, which are 12mm, and there's one here and there's one at the top, which is all of which are loose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave, as you can see it there somewhere, I'm leaving the top one in, just to support the drive shaft for now, at least until I've removed the centre mounting, which is this thing here. And this is where the fun begins, because this centre mounting here, you see I've got a socket on top of it, and the interesting thing is it's one of those captive washers underneath. I've got a feeling that this unit was installed when the back of the truck was off, and so they used power tools from above to do it. But of course I can't even get a ratchet or and barely a spanner on this to remove these nuts to get the center joint off. So what I'm going to do is somehow try and get a spanner into it. This one should not be such a problem because it's kind of open, but this one has the fuel tank right next to it. Look at this damage here, look at this. This wasn't me. This was done off-road by somebody who's clearly, the truck has clearly been off-road on this side. But never mind. So I will get a spanner now. I will crack these free. I've already lubricated them earlier, as you can see, with a WD-40, a good dosing. And I will see if I can break them free. They even look too long for the job. I do think this is incorrectly fitted. But we'll see. I'll give it a go, see what happens. Well, it's typical, isn't it? After all my bitching and whining about things correctly set to the bolts, they were actually very easy to do. I could get the socket on that one completely from above with a short-handled ratchet. This one I got like 90% of the way with the ratchet, but if I would have went any further, I wouldn't have been able to lift the ratchet off. So I'm having to finish it now. Oops, pardon me. I'm having to finish it now. Hand spanner, which is no great problem as it's done. Done. Oh no, this joint should be free. Oops. Oh my god, hitting the head by that. Let's see. The only thing that's holding this thing now is this joint. The only thing holding this in now is the joint for the gearbox. And if you can see, if I pull it, there you see, That's the sliding joint inside the gearbox. This is a spline shaft. It slides inside the gearbox. That's the angle for the drive shaft at the back. Changes as the angle changes. The shaft increments forward. No, not so much. Half an inch, 3/4 of an inch. But it can slide here. But it also has a fixed sliding joint here, which is a spline joint covered with a telescopic navigator, which actually in reality probably does the majority of the sliding, but I'm pretty sure that something must happen here. There must be some sort of movement. Right, what I need to do now is I can pull this shaft out. The problem being that when I pull it out, we might lose some gearbox oil, so I need to get a plastic bag ready to snap over here with the tie wrap to make sure that I don't get covered in oil when I pull this shaft out. So let me just get a plastic bag.